Hey everyone, we're about to play the first match of a Shadows over Innistrad draft. We drafted red-white aggro. I think our deck seems pretty strong. It has a few fewer creatures than I usually have when I make a red-white aggro deck, but it has some powerful spells like Devil's Playground, so it probably evens out. And I think this hand's a keep. We have 1-drop, 3-drop. And we have both our colors and double of both of them, although we only need double red. That's the one that really matters. So, and we have tenacity if we need to be tenacious. So we're going to play our Neonate here. Oh, that's a pretty good draw. To draw a 2-drop when you don't already have one on turn 2, that's what you want to be doing. I mean, if he plays a 2-mana blocker, it's not as good, but if he doesn't, we're going to be doing some serious damage. Especially if it's that stupid 2/2, it can make zombies from the graveyard. If it's that, then we're going to be, our Devilthorn Fox will be really sad. Okay, well, dead weight, that'll do it. So our opponent is stuck on 1 land, which is rough. I wonder if he just has like a handful of dead weights, though. Could be. So play our Cathar. Well, looks like he's still stuck on 1. Yeah. We play our Ember Eye Wolf. We pump our Ember Eye Wolf. And we swing for 7. So if our opponent didn't hit a land there, I think the game is over. He did get a land. But we have tenacity to like kill whatever blocker and get in for extra damage if that's what we need to do. Okay. That does work. Alright, so I think we pump him once. We swing for 4, and then we get the spirit out of our graveyard. Alright. Might have been worth it just to pump him all the way since I knew I had a clear shot at my opponent. I don't play with him enough to think about that. I mean, it should have been obvious, but I didn't think about it. Okay. We still get in for 2. So blue-black, huh? With lots of removal and zombies. Stitch Mangler is one of my favorite commons in this set. I still think he's underrated. I've ended up with 3 of him, although I somehow ended up with 3 Dauntless Cathars in this one, and he is certainly not underrated, so. Okay. Well, do I just swing with everything and then like sacrifice my Neonate? I mean, he has to block the Ember Eye Wolf. So that means he probably won't be able to block my Neonate. I mean, I can almost kill him with tenacity here. Got a double block. You got a double block. Yeah. So I think you probably just block the Ember Eye Wolf, right? Yes. Correct. I mean, it may be worth it to just double block. Really? So I can pump him all the way to kill both of them. I guess he's worried I have some way to give him trample. Well, if people are going to play against Ember Eye Wolf like this, it does get to be a pretty good card. When you can just use it to kill 2 creatures. I mean, I still had to pay a lot of mana, but put us in a pretty favorable position, I'd say. So now we can just win with Tenacity. Like if he taps out and plays one creature here, Tenacity just wins us the game. Yeah, it looks like Tenacity is just going to win us the game. He knows I have it now, but I think winning it when we can is important. All right, so our opponent got mana screwed that game, but he's blue-black. That we know. Does Dual Shot seem good? Not really. Everything we saw had a big booty. Senseless Rage looks bad because he has tons of auras. It even means Spiteful Motives doesn't look great. Although if you can trade it for a card, it's not usually terrible. Because you trade it, you use the motives to kill their guy, and then they use a removal spell to kill your guy, so you just both end up 2-for-2ing each other. So it's not horrible, but it is something worth thinking about. Sanguinary Mage doesn't seem terrible, but I think we just leave things as is. We actually didn't draw very many spells in that game. I mean, our opponent was definitely in worse shape, being mana screwed, and we curved out 1, 2, 3. But we did struggle drawing spells that game. I think that's a mulligan, and I think that one's a keep. And yes, please. So we have 1-drop, 2-drop, 3-drop again. If we can follow it up with our friend, what's he called? That thing's annoying. Valdaran Duelist. Being able to play Valdaran Duelist is usually pretty sweet. So the question here is, and I think the answer is no, but what we could do is just not play anything, hope our opponent attacks with their rats, and then flash in using Madness or Blood Mad Vampire by sacrificing this guy. But the chances my opponent doesn't play a turn 3 creature aren't... I mean, there's good chance he plays a turn 3 creature that can just block Blood Mad Vampire anyway, so it's not exactly ideal. Crow. Okay. All right, I think we swing with both. I'm willing to trade for either. All right. 2 for a 2-drop. I mean, if you can break even against a cheap creature with Death Touch, you usually feel okay about it. Now, if my opponent has like Macabre Waltz and crap like that, then I don't feel so good about it. Question is Dauntless Cathar or Blood Mad Vampire? I'm actually leaning towards the Vampire because I'd rather the Vampire trade for this than this. Well, maybe I shouldn't since I can get a flyer. Yeah, let's play the Cathar. Fine. I convinced myself. Now I'm going to draw Valdaran Duelist, and he's not going to play another blocker. Something like that's going to happen. That's what will happen. Okay. Now I wish I had played Blood Mad Vampire. Okay, well that kind of solves that problem, though. Lets me swing with both of these guys. Okay. So next turn we either play our Vampire or our Arsonists, obviously. We haven't actually seen our removal, although I guess we don't have a ton. We have our 2 Fiery Impulses and Bound by Moonsilver. Any of those would be great, obviously. Help us get there in this game. Because right now we can't really swing through this board anymore. Our Blood Mad Vampire could do some damage at least, so... And obviously so could the Arsonists. So, yeah. These guys have impressed me, though. I mean, granted, getting them on turn 1 2 games in a row is very good. If you play them later, they're not as good, but they at least have some utility. You know, they can dig you a card. They can, even in the late game, sometimes get in for 1 damage at a time because people don't usually worry about leaving blockers back for an Insolent Neonate. You know, they're like, well, it's just 1 damage, so it's no big deal. Yep. We take the Crow. So we actually wouldn't mind getting a token since it can just trade for that Crow right now. Thing in the freaking ice, really? Now we really need Bound by Moonsilver. Really badly. Okay. Alright, well. Black-blue thing in the ice, that's interesting. We didn't see a whole lot of instants and sorceries out of him, but I guess, you know, he's a 2-mana 0/4 who can occasionally flip for you. I hope we get our Scourge Wolf in play, because it can't be bounced by that. So right now, if our Insolent Neonate died, we probably... Okay, well, that is a good card to side in against me, if it's not in his main board. Do we make him a 6/5 menace? I think we do, because that makes it so, well, he won't trade no matter what if I do that, so that's not quite true, but I think we do that. We can flash in our Blood Mad Vampire using this if we really want to. I'll play this land, and I'll end my turn. Transforming our Arsonists. He has Menace now too, but he's a little scarier than Insolent Neonate. Just a little bit. Yeah, I guess he didn't have a great deadweight target. Ooh, Gone Missing. That's filthy. Especially when you have Thing in the Ice in play. Okay. I see how it's going to be. So we redraw our guy, and I think we just play him again. I mean, maybe I should have played Blood Mad Vampire, but he's just going to trade for one of these guys, and that's not going to get a whole lot done right now. So, we don't really want that horror to awaken. Yeah, I was going to say, I don't know why you wouldn't swing with that. This time we actually get to draw a new card, though, it looks like. At least we have that going for us. Ooh, another flyer. Okay, well. This time I think we empty our hand. These flyers are going to kill us if we don't start mounting our own offensive. Okay. The stupid thing is he can triple block and only lose 1 creature, which doesn't do me a whole lot of good at this point. I think I'd rather wait to attack with everything. I really need to get these spirits online because we're going to die to flying zombies at this point, at this rate. I need tenacity. Give me tenacity. Jeez, like he needs another flyer. So we're just dead to flyers next turn now. Unless he makes a mistake and blocks one of these guys. I can also dig, which I'll probably have to do if I want to find a way out of this. I can use my Insolent Neonate. So I think we attack with everything. And I might try to grab Tenacity or Spiteful Motives or something, I guess, if I get the opportunity. Because playing Doublethorn Fox obviously doesn't accomplish anything at this point. So he's going to have to block some stuff, obviously. He can do so advantageously, but if he does, I can get spirits who can block. So it's a little tricky. Tenacity's probably the only card that... I guess Tenacity's basically all that can save me right now. So we'll dig for it when we get a chance to do it. With our good old Neonate and discard our Fox. I mean, should be able to block in such a way that he doesn't give me any spirits. Oh, yep, that'll do it. And then you can just take the rest if you really want to. Unless, of course, I have Tenacity. Even then, he wouldn't be dead, though. I would gain a bunch of life back, though. So, yeah, it's a hard blocking decision. Because he knows I have a card in my hand. And he knows I have Tenacity. He doesn't know what other tricks I have. It's really just Tenacity and Spiteful Motives. But Tenacity would be pretty game-breaking right here, obviously, if he blocks poorly. Yeah, why don't you put him on one of these guys so I definitely don't get a spirit? Oh, you're going to give me a spirit. All right. I like spirits. Let me think if I want to dig immediately for my, if I want to rummage, I guess, technical term here. I think we probably do. Doing one more damage isn't going to accomplish a whole lot. Being able to get Tenacity here does. Yeah, that does some work. I can kill off the thing in the ice, but I'm not that worried about it. I'm worried about these freaking flyers, man. This is going to die. This isn't going to die, and this is going to die. So he can swing back at me for 2, 5, 7, 9. I'm going to have a spirit in play, and I'm going to be able to Fiery Temper one thing. So I don't think I use it just this second. All right. Now, if he flips thing in the ice, obviously we're just dead, but I don't see that as very likely. I think it's better to play, I mean, especially because he's only going to have 2 cards in his hand. He'd have to have a card draw spell. So, yeah. Hey, he gets to transform, which is pretty relevant at this point in the game. So, like, I probably block Stitchwing Scob with my Spirit, and if he tries to give this flying, I probably bolt it. Bolt it. Fiery Temper, you know what I mean. And then I just take 4. So he can't really be super aggressive either because I have stuff going on my side of the table. Though this may as well not exist, but, you know what I mean. All right, bring the pain. The thing is, he can get this back if he holds on to 2 cards in his hand with relative ease. So that is 6. Let's see if we can get him to discard a card. I hope he discards a card because then he can't bring this back. Yeah, so we're going to go ahead and bam. So what did he discard anyway? Just a swamp. But his inability to bring back his Stitchwing Scob is pretty big. It buys me a whole turn, actually. And I actually have lethal damage, so if I draw removal or he doesn't have something going on... Wow, he ended up scooping. Whew! We navigated our way through a rough match there. I'm kind of surprised he scooped because he could have blocked my 3-2 at least and gone to 3 and then taken me down to 1. I would have had to leave a blocker back, so I'm kind of surprised he scooped there. But oh, there's Tenacity. Well, we would have won immediately. Maybe he knew that. All right. Well, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the second match. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.